You can come up with 100 excuses for how a Marine Admiral was taken down by rocks in an instant, but you can never doubt the sheer weight of the title King of the World. According to the official canon, the 4 emperors and the Marine Admirals represent the pinnacle of power in the world of One Piece. But when Rox D. Xebec appeared, he shattered that entire framework. His exploits in the Holy Land alone are enough to place him in a league no one since has been able to match. For 800 years, the Holy Land of Mary Geoise was considered inviolable, until Rox. He was the first person to infiltrate its deepest sanctums, confront Imu-sama, and still escape with his life. He was also the first to destroy one of the massive gates of justice, and, above all, remains the only pirate in history to have single-handedly killed a Marine Admiral. While the latest manga chapters don't detail the entire battle, if their strengths were comparable, the fight would have resembled the clashes between Luffy and Kizaru, or Aokiji and Akainu. The outcome would have been a draw, with both sides heavily wounded, or a grueling battle lasting 10 days and 10 nights to determine a victor. This is because, while there are differences in strength between an admiral and a Yonko, they are fundamentally in the same tier of power. However, the power gap between Rox and that admiral was clearly a world of difference. They weren't on the same level at all. This wasn't some ordinary guard who happened to have the title of Marine Admiral, nor was it a temporary admiral who only handled paperwork. The incident occurred during the Reverie, a time when the Marines' strongest combatants would have been present to provide security for the attending royalty. It's likely Rox simply disposed of the admiral while making his escape, so swiftly that the admiral didn't even have a chance to receive medical treatment before succumbing to his injuries. After all that, Rox emerged without a single scratch, his clothes merely a bit dirty. He still possessed enough stamina to clash head-on with the King of the Giants, Harald, using his conqueror's Haki. What an unbelievable display of power. Each of his actions taken individually would be considered a monumental feat that no one else could accomplish. When Rox was alive, the New World had no Yonko or supernovas. The entire vast ocean was under his dominion. Any pirate with talent and strength was absorbed onto his ship through his games. It takes an overwhelming level of power to make men of that caliber bow their heads in submission. Welcome back to Amy Channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and powerful figures in One Piece history, Rox D. Xebec. This is the man whose name alone strikes fear into the world government and the very reason Garp became known as the hero of the Marines. So, what made Rox so terrifying? Let's uncover the truth with the latest information from the manga. 56 years ago, during the Reverie, the most important summit in the One Piece world, a shocking event occurred that nearly brought the world order to its knees. Rox D. Xebec, all by himself, invaded Mary Geoise, a place that had been deemed untouchable for 800 years. What's astonishing isn't just that Rox dared to attack the Holy Land, but the scale and consequences of his assault. Rox kidnapped 5 kings attending the Reverie, stole a massive amount of the Celestial Dragon's tribute, and, most unbelievably, he completely destroyed the Gates of Justice at Enies Lobby. The Gates of Justice, a symbol of the world government's absolute authority, had stood for centuries. The fact that Rox could destroy them demonstrates a level of power far beyond what we could have imagined. But that's not all. What truly cemented Rox's legend during this incident was his direct confrontation with Imu-sama, the true ruler of the One Piece world. Rox marched straight into the Room of Flowers in Pangaea Castle, where Imu resides. There, he declared himself a fan of Davy Jones and vowed to return one day to claim the throne for himself. This audacity was reflected not just in his actions, but in the outcome. After causing all that chaos, confronting Imu, and killing a Marine Admiral, Rox escaped, unharmed. This raises a critical question. Is Imu as powerful as we've been led to believe? Or was it Rox who possessed the superior strength? Unlike many other powerful figures in One Piece, Rox's strength didn't seem to come from a specific devil fruit. Instead, he was the embodiment of someone who had honed his combat skills to absolute perfection. Rox is confirmed to be an incredibly powerful swordsman, capable of using all three types of Haki at the highest level. His Conqueror's Haki was so immense that it produced black lightning, the signature of advanced Conqueror's Haki, similar to what we've seen from Roger and Whitebeard. During his clash with King Harald of Elbaf, Rox's true power was on full display. Harald, considered one of the mightiest warriors of the giant race, had to use his full strength to face Rox. The collision of their Haki created a tremendous shockwave that blew away everything within 5 kilometers of radius. What's truly remarkable is that after his battle with the Admiral and his confrontation with Imu, Rox still had enough power to fight on equal footing with Harald. This indicates that his reserves of Haki and his physical stamina were on a level beyond ordinary comprehension. Furthermore, Rox was a master of 18 different martial arts styles, from hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, to various other weapons. He was proficient in them all. This diversity in combat skills made him an utterly unpredictable opponent. One of the most terrifying aspects of Rox was his ability to gather and command a crew of monsters. The Rox pirates weren't just a crew, they were a collection of individuals who would later become Yonko and legendary pirates in their own right. Rox used a unique method for recruitment, the Davy Back Fight. These were games where the loser had to join the winner's crew. With his overwhelming power, Rox defeated and subjugated the strongest pirates of his era. Among his most prominent members were Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki the Golden Lion, and Wang Ji, among others. Each of them would later become a formidable force on their own. The fact that Rox could command obedience from such proud and powerful individuals shows that not only his physical strength, but also his presence and leadership were completely dominant. Even Whitebeard, who would later be known as the world's strongest man, had to submit to Rox. Interestingly, although the crew members detested one another and were in constant conflict, they still operated as a unified force under Rox's command. This further highlights the extraordinary talent and power of their captain. One of the most shocking recent revelations is that Marshal D. Teach, Blackbeard, is the son of Rox D. Xebec. This not only explains Blackbeard's ambition to become king of the world, but also clarifies many mysteries surrounding his character. Blackbeard inherited not only his father's bloodline, but also his ambition and methods. His decision to occupy Hachinos, the former base of the Rox pirates, was no coincidence. It was Blackbeard's way of declaring himself the successor to Rox's legacy. Blackbeard's special body, which allows him to wield 2 devil fruits, may be linked to his lineage. Some theories suggest that Rox might still exist in some form within Blackbeard, explaining this unusual physical constitution. The influence of Rox doesn't end with Blackbeard. The entire power structure of the current New World was born from the collapse of the Rox pirates. After the God Valley incident, the former members formed their own crews, giving rise to the era of the 4 emperors that we know today. Even Loki, the Prince of Elbaf, idolizes Rox. The dynamic between Loki and Rox mirrors the one between Luffy and Shanks, showing the legendary pirate's profound influence across generations. Rox D. Xebec was more than just a powerful pirate. He was the embodiment of an absolute challenge to the world order. From attacking the Holy Land and killing an admiral, to gathering the world's strongest pirates under his flag, His every action surpassed the limits of an ordinary person. And this leaves us with a critical question. Will Luffy have to confront the legacy of rocks through his son, Blackbeard? What do you think of this connection? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Amy channel so you don't miss out on more fascinating One Piece analysis. Thanks for watching.